2, 3, 4. These days, when I need a distraction from the bad news, I focus on great music. And that's why today we are bringing Gary to you on 6-String Philosophy. Great song. You can tell he loves it when he plays it live. He stretches it out into like a Freebird-esque event. He walks around the whole crowd. We saw him recently at the Brooklyn Paramount, and he was in the balconies, and he was walking through our section and went around the whole place during Gary. And it really gives a drummer and a slide player and the bassist a chance to also kind of get far out and explore. So let's get down to it. To play this one, you will need your chromatic tuner, C, G, C, E, G, C. So all the chord tones of an open C major, all right? The real trick with this one is it's a lot of split finger chords. So you're gonna have to get used to stretching a bit. So if that's not a strength for you yet, learning this song should definitely level you up in that category to be able to do it properly. So here goes. Your initial chord is here, and I'll call that kind of like the home bass chord, and that's going to be pointer on the 9th fret of the low E string and pinky on the 12th fret of the D string. So that shape. Then we're going to slide it down to be on the 5th and 9th, so wider spread than before, then slide it up to be 7 and 11. So 9th and 12th, 5th and 9th, 7th and 11th, and then to close it, you're going to jump to the A string, but keep your pinky on that D string and 9th fret on the A string with the pointer, and then the pinky on the 12th fret of the D string. And now to reset this, you just go and drop this finger back to where it started on the 9th fret of the low E. And then as you go through it a second time, instead of going to this chord on the A string here, you're going to go to a chord here on the A string, which is pointer finger on the 5th fret of the A and ring finger on the 7th fret of the D. And just let the open E string fly behind it. Really anything goes. The rest of these can all be there too. All right, so let's hear the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a full rev. And that loop brings you through almost the entirety of the song. Okay, it's going to take you through all the different changes, all the verses, the intro, various points in it. When it gets towards what I guess would be considered the chorus, it's... And then it just chugs on this instead of returning to either the 9th or 5th fret on the A strings. It's going to go back to that home bass chord, which is on the 9th and 12th. Then it goes back into the chord progression. And now this part. So you're going to make that what normally is like the second to last chord in the progression, pointer finger on the 7th of the E string, and this time the pinky is on the 11th fret of the D string, and you're moving it up to here, to the 12th and back. It's a lot of moving these chords around, but that loop, once you master that, basically that 8-chord loop of... You've got almost the whole thing, okay? The only other part would be when he gets to that like bridge piece. So that's that whole every now and then gets his damn thing running. Takes it out for a spin first week in May. That part there. So you're going to reset for the bridge. Here goes. You're going to put your pointer finger in a bar, basically, or just at least put it there on the 9th fret of the A string. And so you let the low E ring behind that, which creates a drone note. All right. Now on the D string, put your pinky where it was earlier on the 12th fret, but back it up with the ring finger right behind it. And you just kind of like pinky, and then lift, then put the pinky back. Now put the bar all the way up to the low E string and do the same thing again. Okay, so the same pinky and ring kind of oscillating back and forth. And then now the last part, you slide down to the 7th fret with that bar. This time you're just basically barring the low E and A strings. And now big fat stretch all the way up to the 12th fret. And at this point, I'm just using the pinky and then letting it stretch back to the 11th because it's such a big long run. And then repeat that again. One more time to that original chord, and then leaps right into that main chord progression, that loop. So the end, as it gets a little rowdier, you can ditch this stretch thing, especially if you're playing with a band and everybody else is starting to kind of whip it up a little bit and get a little more energy. You can just simply do bar chords, what you would use if you were playing in drop D, right? So it's 9th, 5th, 7, and then open. Okay, as it gets a little deeper into that part, that instead of going to that open, you can also do this. And what's happening there is the bars, 9, 5, 7, and then you make a regular bar chord. So instead of doing a traditional major bar chord like this, you're using your pointer and ring to stretch. It's going to be the 5th fret and the 7th fret of the A and Ds, respectively. And you're going to back the pointer behind that middle finger. So you can go. And in some live versions, I think I also seen him do this too. Down to the 2nd fret. We can talk about the lyrics a little bit. I take away from it, hard work, faith, fellowship. That's where I kind of like invest my Gary meaning. So not so much the literal of the video or even what some of the lyrics are, about someone going off their meds and their parakeet watching them keel over. I mean, it's definitely very interesting. But the overall arching meaning of a Gary to me is somebody who's a role model, who works really hard, who will tackle any problem, who will use their wits and their skills and their teeth and fingernails and every tool in the arsenal, to get the job done, whatever that is. And I know some Garys in my world, and they are some of my favorite people. And so, I'm going to dedicate this episode to all the Garys out there, in the metaphorical sense of the hardworking individual who gets the job done. One of the things that Steve Wilson said in introducing this song the last time I saw him live was he said, when AI takes over, you're still going to need a guy to come to the door, and that can be male or female, of course, to unclog your pipes or to, hook up your, fix your electricity or whatever the case may be. These are things that AI will never take over. And so we need strong people and great people. And if you're lucky enough to have those people in your world, or to build, your inner Gary to whatever extent you can, I think that's a noble effort. When the world gets too crazy, focus on great music. That's going to be kind of my mantra moving forward. So, hope you had fun. See you on the next one.